and welcome to Athlone IT in Ireland for what is becoming something of a fixture on the Irish indoor athletics calendar. It is the international meet here which we've had for the past 2 years. It's had some fantastic names, and this year the biggest name on show is Shawn Barber, the world champion pole vault. Jessie, Barr, you're joining us in the commentary team.
Yeah.
Shawn Barber, a huge name, and haven't we had some names over the past couple of years?
Well, it's only the third year and already we're attracting world champions to this event. As you said, Shawn Barber is the name this year. Last year in Mutaz Beijing, going for a world indoor record in Athlone. I mean, who would have ever thought we'd ever see something like that? But the spectacle is gathering the crowds. The crowd here already is buzzing, and when the excitement when Shawn was introduced to the crowd is just, it was palpable. So really excited to see what he can do tonight.
Well, Jessie, for now we'll let you get up to commentary, where you'll be joined by Dick Hooper and Will Dowden to take you through all the action.
We're starting off with the women's 60 metres hurdle. There are two semi-finals in this. The top three qualifying for the decider. Liliana O'Hora of Ireland, Sarah Lavin, Catherine McManus, plus our winner from 2015 here, Sharika Nelvis of the United States. McManus second in the Intervasties here on Friday. And Liliana O'Hora won that race, but it's Sharika Nelvis who's off well, the defending champion here in Athlone, on her way to victory. Sarah Lavin having a good season as well. Now that's 8.12 for Nelvis. Lavin in second place, and a season's best of 8.29 a couple of weeks ago, and she might have come close to matching that from 2 weeks ago in the brilliant sporting city of Ghent. But Sharika Nelvis winning that very, very easily indeed, and she took that in 8.12 seconds unofficial. The second semi-final features Aoife Boons of the Netherlands, Christy Castlin of the United States, Yasmin Miller of Great Britain, and Hanna Platitsina of Ukraine, European indoors finalist last year in Prague. And they're away this time, and Castlin has started very impressively. Miller in second place, Bones fighting for third, but it's going to be Christy Castlin to win. 7.96 is very good indeed, and she takes her semi-final quite easily. Miller fighting for second place, and then the minor possessions between Bones and Platitsina of the Netherlands and Ukraine, but Christy Castlin, that was very assured, 7.96, so that is a new stadium record. That record from Eva Vital set 2 years ago at this event, and the Portuguese now has had a stadium record beaten by a third of a second practically. Cleo van Boren goes in lane 4 of this first semi-final of the women's 60 metres, along with the new Irish under-23 record holder Phil Healy, 7.35. Van Boren with a 7.20 to her name. Amy Foster as well, former stadium record holder, 7.32, which was broken last year. 7.32, by the way, is the world qualifying mark. So it's Vicky Harrison 2, Phil Healy 3, Cleo van Boren 4, Amy Foster in 5, and we do have Ciara Neville in this in lane 6. She scrubbed from the 60 hurdles. How can she do in the flat? The European Youth Olympic champion from Tbilisi last year. Way they go first time. Van Boren is in second place behind Foster, and Healy's going great as well. Is it going to be Healy? I think Healy got it ahead of Foster with Van Boren in third, 7.43, and that was a great double Irish victory. 7.43 unofficial. To the naked eye, I think that was Phil Healy, but Foster ran her immensely close. That was brilliant.
I would have called it as Amy Foster, Will, but we can agree to disagree. Great battle between the two Irish girls.
Now look at Healy go brilliantly. Foster coming in right at the end, and Meg just avenged it. Foster going in. Healy immensely close. Van Boren definitely in third place.
Brilliant start by Amy Foster. Flew out of the blocks. Had meters on it the rest of the field within the first couple of meters. It was really, really flying.
So the result of the first semi-final, victory for Phil Healy, 7.40. Amy Foster, victory for her too, 7.40.
We were both right.
Cleo van Boren in third place. So we were both right.
We were both right.
Well, what we've done there is we've two Irish girls in the final. We'll do very well to get one girl through the next heat, but I would be hopeful that we might sneak a third place through either Niamh Whelan or Catherine McManus in the next heat.
Way first time, that's a very good start from Pierre in 5 and Pavel in 4 for the Ukraine. It's going to be Pierre to win the pole in second the mark of Tiana Bartoletto and Jessica Young last year at this event. 7.20, unofficial, can still be rounded down. Stadium record, all-comers record, Barbara Pierre. Brilliant starter was by her and by Lesopov alongside from the Ukraine. Bronze medal in the relay in the Olympic Games with the Ukraine also. Pierre taking it 7.20. There's a good chance Pav was inside the national all-comers record as well. That was very, very good. It was blinding, it was impressive, and she's going to be very, very difficult to beat in the final. That's been rounded down. Barbara Pierre wins 7.19. Alesopov also inside the all-comers record, 7.26, and Strakova also in the final for Ukraine, 7.51. And there are 3 semi-finals here with the top 2 and the 2 fastest losers going through. 6.60, the Stadium and Irish all-comers record from Winston Barnes last year. That's the big target. Achilles Ayete up very well, and Martina also afterwards going well at one thing. It's going to be a blanket. Achilles Ayete and Martina 6.70 unofficial, and that was a great strike from the Britain in the end, but Martina also coming to the fore, and Bakari of the Netherlands was fantastic throughout a lot of that. Going down to thousandths of a second, and I actually fancy that's probably what's going to happen. The second semi-final features 3 from Ireland: Conor Wilson, Craig Lynch and Christopher Sabanda. DeAndre Batson of the United States, 22-year-old, and Ron Pierre of Great Britain. Pierre off to a very good start, and Sires in 3, and Batson is making good progress, and Batson's going to take it, and maybe Wilson coming in second place, and that's 6.69 unofficial, matching the opening winning time from Harry Achilles Ayete, but DeAndre Batson put the foot down and impressed in the final 20.
Yeah, you can see that 6.54 where that came from. I reckon we're going to see a new stadium record, a new all-time record come in the final. He looked like he was slowing down. He'd taken his foot off the gas before he even got to the final. He knew he had that one.
Batson wins 6.69. Pierre did take second place, 6.80, and Lynch run out of it, 6.81. But in the end, 100th of a second between
a
second,
new
third,
personal best though for Craig Lynch of Ireland, 6.81. Previous best of 6.87. So that's positive. Obviously, the high standard races bringing our Irish athletes on to new personal best. In lane 6, Christopher Sabanda, or in 6th place, Christopher Sabanda, new personal best of 6.89.
D'Angelo Cherry, very much one to watch out for in this final semi-final. Second in Turin last week, US junior record holder, and his 6.49 lifetime best. So away they go. Very good start by Cherry, of course, and Mariano too. And Mariano fighting back. Gittins coming up. It's Cherry, Gittins, Mariano, and it's 6.64 unofficial, and that's very, very close indeed to the stadium record. Brilliant display. He did very well indeed. And Melissa Bishop leads a very impressive field here, including Kelly Neely of Ireland, Katie Kirk here as well. Very good athlete, obviously well known for lighting the Olympic cauldron, but an excellent competitor in her own right. Stina Troist won here last year. Melissa Bishop will really test it in this. And away they go. Kirk, Barrow, Bishop, Chakuk of Ukraine, Tracy, Denny, on pace, Stina Troist, and Kelly Neely as well.
I have a special interest in Stina Troist, who has started in lane 7 there. Better known as a 400-meter hurdler. I've raced against her plenty of times, 55, 56 hurdler. Yeah, and like you said, winner here last year, 2:02 runner at the 800 indoors, so multi-talented athlete, but Melissa Bishop is really going to give her a good test today.
Undoubtedly, the class act tonight from a middle distance point of view is Melissa Bishop. She's in second place there, floating along behind the pacemaker. Sinead Denny is in action again, and Melissa just looks magnificent. She's run 1:57 for 800 meters indoors. That's a fantastic time for a woman. and any woman who breaks 2 minutes is sure to be in world-class territory.
So our pacemaker steps away as we approach halfway, and it's Melissa Bishop who leads. It's Trost in second place. Tracy making a good move up into third for Britain. But it's the World Championship silver medalist who leads the defending Athlone champion very impressively with 300 to go.
Adele Tracy's having a great run here. Third at the British Indoors, a really competitive British Indoors last year in 2015. Has a 2:02 best, so she's chasing down the world silver medalist here at the moment and doing a really good job of it.
It has to be said, this race is all about Melissa Bishop. There's the bell. She has a clear lead. She's 2 or 3 seconds faster than the field on paper. She's going to be 2 or 3 seconds faster than at the finish. She's just stronger, she's fitter, and she's classier than the rest. Not to downgrade the chasing pack.
Oh yes, this is a great performance on Irish soil from Melissa Bishop. Trost down in 4th place, Tracy in 3rd, but it's going to be Melissa Bishop. She's absolutely eating up the track. It'll be inside 2 minutes, I think. This is a good performance. Victory then for Bishop, and a real charge to second by Chachuk. Loses out. Tracy takes second, Trost is 4th, 5th is Leah Barrow, and that is 2 minutes 59, and that will be a new stadium record. I make it, beating the mark of Ciara Everard from 3 years ago fabulously, and also beating that Irish all-comers record too.
Very pretty girl and a really talented athlete as well. National record holder of Canada, and one that probably what some people might say is a surprise silver medal in Beijing, but seeing that class act there today, she annihilated the rest of the field, was leading from the start and just made 2 minutes look easy. Can see why she has got that silver medal to her name.
It's interesting really, the African women are not as dominant in the 800 metres as say the men are, and so the likes of the Canadians, the Americans, and of course the Eastern Europeans have tended to dominate this event. And Melissa looks like she could dominate it, and she looks good on the run into Rio now. She's going to be one of the favourites. Class athlete.
And Melissa Bishop, by the way, that was a new Canadian national record in winning the women's 800.
Stadium record. How did you feel that went?
I thought that went pretty well. We stuck to our race plan. We got to get it hard and get to the 600, and I think it went pretty well.
0.59 of a second outside breaking the 2 minute mark.
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating, but this sport is so important, and so important to get your splits in the right time, and it takes a lot of time to fine tune that.
After last season, how difficult is it going to be to beat that?
You know what? I don't think it's going to be. I just got to keep my head in the right space and just keep doing what I'm doing and kind of forget about all the negative stuff and really focus on the positive stuff.
So now the women's 1500 metres. Gesa Krause winning here last year and then going on to take bronze in the 3000 steeplechase at the World Championships in Beijing. Kerry O'Flaherty and Sarah Tracy also competed in that. Sarah, a late dropout, we believe, in this, but she's on her way to Rio in the steeplechase, and so is Kerry O'Flaherty. We have the Suev twins representing Germany, Riga born in Latvia, Diana and Alina. Rose-Anne Galligan, who's come from South Africa in the past few weeks too. This should be a very good race. So away we go, the women's 1500 metres. O'Flaherty, Mackie, Krebs, Galligan, Krause, Karlstrup, Schultz, Tarpley, Suyev, Crow, Leonard Kane, Mary Kane, the World Junior Championship bronze medalist 2014, World Junior Champion, and Nancy Chepkemwa as well of Kenya.
That's Sinead Denny of DSD who's bringing them through as pacemaker. Sinead, better known as a 400-metre runner. There's a lot of Irish interest in this race. Kerry O'Flaherty, she's already qualified for the Olympic steeplechase. Laura Crow from Riocht, Claire Tarpley and Rose-Anne Galligan. And the time they'll be looking for is 4 minutes 13 seconds, which is the qualifier for the World Indoor Championships next month. And right now they're on schedule for it.
Sinead as the pacemaker was given a really tough standard to go through for the girls. I think it was they're looking to go through something like 65 seconds per lap. I was talking to one or two of the girls and they were a little bit shocked at how quick the time. They were hoping for 4:02, I think is the pace they're going for. Obviously much quicker than what a lot of these girls can run, but if they can even hang on to that pace at all, bring them through to a lot of PBs.
And they're bang on for that, Jessie. They went through in about 64.5, the main pack, so they're right on schedule. 64s actually brings you home in 4 minutes flat, so it's slightly ahead. But you got to commit early if you want to achieve times.
What a brilliant start by Nancy Chepkwemoi of Kenya. Comes in with a 4:03 and she's blinding away. 4.5 laps to go. Rose-Anne Galligan is leading the chasing bunch in second place. Gesa Krause behind her in third. But right now it's all about number one, and that number one is Nancy Chepkwemoi.
Yeah, she's leaving the rest of the girls for dust. Rose-Anne Galligan is leading that chasing pack. Rose-Anne is the national record holder in the 800 metres, a almost 2 minute flat 800 metre runner. A lot of 800 metre runners have gone up to this distance for this race, but Nancy Chepkwemoi has nearly 10 metres on the rest of the field and it's not looking like she's slowing down anytime soon.
Rose-Anne Galligan of Ireland in second place. She's running a cracker of a race at the moment. I think that's Mary Kane on her shoulder.
No, that's Gesa Krause. Gesa Krause of Germany, I think, is just coming up on her shoulder. Now. Really experienced athlete, Gesa Krause, better known as a 3K steeplechase runner. This pace might be a little bit too quick for her, but she's really picking them off now at the moment.
Well, now here comes Gesa Krause and Rose-Anne Galligan trying to roll Nancy Chepkwemoi in, and the lead that she had, you might have thought she was a pacemaker. The Kenyan is anything but. Ran 4:09.68 in Karlsruhe a couple of weeks ago, lifetime best of 4:03. Galligan still going well in third place, was training in Potchefstroom in South Africa for a couple of weeks, and that's where Pavel Maslak was as well. Obviously the invite came through her. Gesa Krause is lying in second place. Chepkwemoi is still in the lead, but she's being reeled in. Galligan trying to go on the outside. Krause lying behind in second place with 2 to go, and it's so tight at the top now. And coming forward also is Christina Mackie of the Czech Republic into fourth place.
And what a race Rose-Anne Galligan is running. She's moved into second place. She's really got big times on her mind tonight. The track record 4 minutes 12. The World Championship time they're looking for 4:13. Rose-Anne Galligan has run 4:13 in the past indoors. She's in big company here. She's competitive and she has a real chance.
What a race this is turning out to be, and the bell is on the way now. It's Chepkwemoi who leads. It's Galligan and Krause battling for second place. It's Mackie who's in fourth at the moment. This could really heat up the crowd if we get a great Irish result here. Chepkwemoi is hanging on. Krause are the World Championship bronze medalist in second place. Galligan's in danger of being overtaken by Mackie, who dropped down into fourth. Chepkwemoi is still leading. Here we go into the final straight. Chepkwemoi ahead of Krause. Has she done enough? Krause fighting in second and Galligan defending in third. Chepkwemoi is on the way. Chepkwemoi wins it 4:08.46. Krause is second. Galligan third. Leonard fourth. And Mackie in fifth place.
What a run by Rose-Anne Galligan. On my watch, she's 4 minutes 9, 4 minutes 10 seconds. A sensational time. She's booked her way to the World Championships.
Rose-Anne, as I said, better known as the 800 runner. Really good race by Rose-Anne. I know she's just back from South Africa from a long warm weather training session, and obviously that time over in South Africa has paid off and at altitude.
She really did something right there tonight, Jessie.
Yeah.
Her previous best coming into this 4:12.30. That's the best she's looked for years.
Oh, without doubt. She's really in really good shape.
Whose career appears to have stalled for a while, come back so strong, so tough. She always had the ability. That's a sensational time tonight. Galligan was always there. She was always aggressive. Once she got past halfway, she was still there. Her confidence grew. She wasn't giving up. Some nights it just happens for you. You're on a good time. It's coming. You just chase it. And tonight she chased it with such vigor, such passion, such enthusiasm that she deserved her reward.
So here's the result. And Rose-Anne Galligan with 4:11.07 is inside the World Indoor Championship qualifying. Victory for Nancy Chepkwemoi. 4:07 with Krause in second place, and at least one CF did finish. A quick look at Sam Kendricks. 5:55, first attempt, and clear. It'll be a 2-horse race this, and horse number 1 is well clear.
Yeah, I came to defend my title and I got second, but it was my second time beating the 4:10, so I'm really happy with this fact. I was struggling a little bit during the race and let the leader too far in front, so yeah, there's still some work to do, but I'm happy with beating the 4:10, and it's a great feeling being here again, and yeah, I like it.
This winter, me and my coach decided to do sort of over distance work, just because I've been injured the past 2 summers, so I need to get a good base this winter for hopefully like run fast in 800 outdoors. So.
How important is it to the mindset, and how do things change when it comes to an Olympic year?
Yeah, everything changes. I think it's the one thing that us athletes work for. They only come around every 4 years, so it's a big thing.
So now the men's 800 metres, and involved in this, 2 from Ireland and Nick Ennis and Kieran Kelly, 4 from Britain, Webb, Bonus, Learmonth and Rimmer, the former European silver medalist 2010 in Barcelona, and Dimitrios Jurkovic of Latvia, Miroslav Burian, Matej Pavlicek of the Czech Republic. They're the 9 in this.
I'm excited for my clubmate Kieran Kelly, who's in this. He's been having the season of his life. He ran 1:48 there last week, career best. He's 2nd ranked behind Mark English. He's in big company here tonight, so it's be interesting to see how he fares out.
Keep an eye on Guy Learmonth there in the yellow New Balance. He's a Scottish athlete, British indoor champion in the 800 metres last year in a really competitive race. Having a bit of a, making a real grounds in the 800 metres, a really competitive event at the moment. Commonwealth finalist last year and former European finalist as well.
Learmonth is leading at the moment. It's Nick Ennis who's on pace-making duties, and he's going to step out of the way at the moment. It's a very good lead right now in the real race that Learmonth is taking on right now. In 2nd place is Webb. The man from Raheny, Kieran Kelly, is going up as well. The pacemaker just managed about to step out in time as we hit halfway with 2 to go.
Yeah, Kieran is hanging in there, great in 4th place, coming up to 500 metres. Hopefully he'll get a career best out of this. He'll compete, he's tough, he's strong, but Learmonth is taking it out and looking good at this point.
So here goes Learmonth in the lead for Britain, and on the outside now Michael Rimmer is beginning to go. Webb is in 2nd place, Kelly is in 4th. There was the bell. Learmonth leading them away, the Scottish national record holder, European finalist in Zurich last year, Commonwealth Games finalist in Glasgow the year before. Rimmer's trying to move up on the outside. Learmonth is defending it very well. It might just be done for Kelly at the moment, but it's Guy Learmonth of Britain and Scotland who's coming round and leading. But now here comes Rimmer. Has Rimmer going to take it? Rimmer wins it ahead of Learmonth, and Webb in 3rd, and that was 1:48.13. So tight, but it's victory for Michael Rimmer.
Yeah, Mike Rimmer's been around a long time, one of the UK's best 800 metre runners over the last 10 years. A nice controlled victory there. Ordinary enough time really by the standards of all these guys, but a good competitive race, everything said.
Came good right at the end. It was Guy Learmonth's show all the way, and the curtain call was taken away from him. Good pace really set by Nick Ennis at the start. Learmonth looking comfortable, Webb in 2nd and Rimmer in 3rd. Striding, strolling, stalking, and then in the final lap, pouncing, and eventually on the line, on the outside, winning. Never mind the time, that was a good race.
That was a good race. Rimmer was always a threat. He sat in 3rd place, he knew what he was doing. He's a 1:43 best, and he was always going to be win with a good chance.
Good win, let's hear from him.
Michael Rimmer, you left to run right until the end. Many would say you timed it perfectly.
Yeah, it was only really my 2nd ever indoor 800, so I made a few mistakes, tried to keep on going past people around the bend, and you just hit a wall when you try to go around someone on the bend. It's probably the worst thing you can do indoors, so I did that about 2 or 3 times, learnt my lesson, so I thought I'd just wait and wait, but yeah, it's just good to be competitive and get a solid win under my belt, which is the most important thing.
How difficult is it then when you go from the outdoor track primarily running, and you've got the indoors where you're obviously running on a bend and up on a hill?
It is very different. There's just so much less rhythm, and I'm a very much a rhythm-oriented runner, so it's a tough one. The pace is a bit up and down as well, so that was another difficult one, but you've just got to get on with it, don't you? It is how it is. 800s are always throws up something different every race, so it's good to come out on top and get a win, and on to the next one. Yeah.
British athletics is obviously in a very good stage of development. There's plenty of people across the board. How difficult do you find it, or do you find it as a positive when you've got so many good people in front of you?
It's a positive, 100%. I think you know, success breeds success, doesn't it? You know, and the more sort of medalists and icons we have, I think they're better for everyone else. You know, it's been very sort of inspirational for me watching like so Greg Rutherford, Mo, those guys who are sort of always there or thereabouts, and then made those breakthroughs. It just shows it can be done, you know. So hopefully I could edge my way there come Rio, but a long way to go yet though.
That's the goal for the season. Then Rio is a major aim.
That's the big one, 100%. I think I've been really unlucky last 2 Olympics. I was sick on one and I had an operation about 4 or 5 months before London, so I'm hoping third time lucky. Fingers crossed. We don't come around very often, so got to make most of it, you know.
Don't get sick this year.
Yeah,
But Michael, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Pole vault now, and Sam Kendricks. He's only 22, and there was that great result in Boston. It gets to the New Balance at the weekend. 565 and over. Nicely done by Sam Kendricks.
I'm not going to lie, this is the event I've been looking forward to the most all evening.
So now this is very interesting. It's the men's 400 metres. There are 3 heats in this, and it's the fastest time across the 3 that wins. And going in this, the world indoor champion Pavel Maslak and Brian Gregan, the under-23 silver medalist.
Luke Lennon-Ford, who we beaten to bronze in that very competition, is actually in lane 6. So an interesting head-to-head set up there as well between those 2 boys. Maslak the standout favourite though, without a doubt. World indoor from last year.
Well, Pavel Maslak was training in Potchefstroom in South Africa. Just about to leave when he got the call to come here. So let's see how he does. It's Maslak in 5, and it's Gregan in 4 in the first heat of the 400 metres. Luke Lennon-Ford on the outside for Britain. Maslak has taken up the stagger on him. Gregan's beginning to fall back a bit. Chris Clark also going well for Great Britain, but leading the way is Maslak. Here comes the turn. Maslak falling behind. Clark is keeping up with him. Here comes the bell, and it's Maslak in front. Clark in second place. They took the bell around 22 seconds. It's Maslak leading for the Czech Republic. Clark back in second. Gregan trying to fight hard for Ireland in third place, and Maslak fighting away. Remember, it's the fastest time that wins this overall. It's like the European Team Championships. Maslak's done brilliant in that for the Czech Republic, and everything else indoor and outdoor. He's going to win this heat. Is he going to win overall? Maslak comes through 46.06, and he has broken by 100th of a second the stadium record of Brian Gregan. That's rubbing it in. Brilliant performance.
Brian did get second, I think, in the dip there, so he ran a fine, strong race for this time of the year. He'll be happy enough. He'll be disappointed, obviously, to lose that record, to lose the race, but he was beaten by a very good man, the European champion.
Second place for Brian Gregan. He was 1.5 seconds down, and our eventual winner of the man who has set a very good standard here, Pavel Maslak. 46.06 it said on the clock. Wonder if that'll be rounded down or maybe even rounded up. But Gregan, he did his best to try and get himself back into it. Couple of years of injury, trying to get beyond indifferent form.
It was going to be a tough race for Brian. He's up against Pavel Maslak, who's an incredibly quick 200-metre runner as well, 20.49 over 200. Brian is a powerful athlete. He always comes through strongly in the end. He didn't really have it in the tank today, but I think it's his first race after a long time, a lot of training, warm weather training in January. So
it has been rounded up, so it equals the stadium and the national all-comers record, which is still jointly held by Brian Gregan. But what a gap, 47.62 in second.
Pavel, are you happy with that?
It's for me first start, and 46.06 is not bad, but it's not good at all.
Well, I can tell you it's 0.01 inside the stadium record, so you have to be happy with that.
Yes, the stadium record?
Yes, yes.
Yes, it's good. I'm happy.
Obviously, you're looking forward to Portland next month.
Sorry?
Obviously, you're looking forward to defending your title in Oregon, the indoor championship.
Yeah, I go in the Oregon and next competition in Glasgow, and next nation championship, and go Portland.
Well, we wish you all the best with it. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Brian Gregan. had a few injury issues at the beginning of last season. How are you feeling at the moment?
Yeah, good. Like, I've come into this championship or this event, heavy training, legs are heavy, I haven't eased down. This is the start of my indoor season, the end of my indoor season. That was good, it was messy. Twice I got clipped, did well not to fall. That slowed down all my momentum, but it's about getting a run out, getting through the legs, and the crowd are awesome, really enjoyed that, and looking forward to getting ready for Amsterdam and Rio.
And from one great champion to another, Shawn Barber, first attempt, 5.65, the world champion, recently cleared 6 meters for the first time in his career. What a result that was for him and for Canada at the World Championships in the Bird's Nest. His big rival of the night, of the week, Kendricks, has already cleared this at the first attempt, so the world champion coming up, 5 meters, 65, Shawn Barber, bingo! And with a lot to spare.
A beautiful sight just to watch that. And you know something, I'm getting nervous for that ceiling. He's getting closer and closer.
So Chris Brown of the Bahamas coming up in this second heat with 46.07 to beat. World indoor champion from 2010 in Doha over the 400 meters. David Gillick obviously remembers that very well. Storm Janicic, Brown and Paris are the four in this, and Brown has started brilliantly. He's catching up with Paris, but Paris is going quite well too for the United States. Brown, the former world indoor champion. It's the Maslak era that's denied him more goals. Can he deny Maslak tonight? Here he comes towards the bell. He's leading the way. 21 seconds gone. It's Brown who leads, Paris in second. Storm and Janicic are moving up. It's getting very congested in there on the inside. It's Paris trying to make a bit of a move on the outside. Brown is still defending the inside line. He's over the final bend. He's got the final little piece of injection. So now really it's between Brown and the clock. Brown is coming through to win. It's 46.07 to beat, and he hasn't done it. It's 47 seconds. And Janicic took second in the end for Slovenia. And Chris Brown comes through in 47. The stadium clock didn't stop, but it was just over 47, maybe 47.2, 47.3. So Chris Brown wins the race, but he won't win the title here. So Chris Brown wins 46.96 in the end, with Janicic in second place, 47.44, and Clayton Paris 47.62 in third. So Pavel Maslak is still our overall leader with one race to go. And in that final heat, an American of Irish heritage, grandparents from Galway, Patrick Feeney. Well, to Barry Henry had beaten Crowe 2 years ago, but only marginally. It's a good start by Dane Hyatt. Remember, 46.07 is the time to get. Pat Feeney on the outside is going very well, and here goes Hyatt as well. Now in 5 to take the lead for Jamaica. And Lecan Kishoyan is not that far away either. Timmy Crowe's going to have to move on. Oh, there's been a bit of a bump there. Feeney and Hyatt coming to a bit of a cropper. There's the bell, and it's Feeney who's taken full advantage with the lead in this heat. It might have cost them a few seconds. Maybe Maslak's got the victory overall now, but it's Feeney who's going very well. 45.92 is his lifetime best. Hyatt's beginning to try and roll him back. It's Lecan in third place for Kenya. Timmy Crowe in fourth. Coming on the outside. Great chance. Dane Hyatt. Can he take it? It's Patrick Feeney who wins it. 47 seconds dead, with Hyatt in second place and Lecan looking to lead through in third. So victory in the final heat of America, and will claim him tonight for Ireland. Patrick Feeney, 47 seconds dead. I make that third overall for him. Hyatt in second, and the overall victory goes to Pavel Maslak.
I don't think Hyatt's going to be too pleased with how that race went down at that break there at the 150-meter mark. Patrick Feeney completely cut him off. You could say maybe he could have gone faster if that hadn't happened, but that is the nature of indoor 400-meter running. It can be messy. Brian Gregan was victim to it at the European Indoors a couple of years ago, ended up with cuts all over his legs. It was a bit of a messy race, but a quick race overall.
Shawn Barber, first attempt at 5.77 in the pole vault. As he gets ever closer towards the 6-meter mark. Barber has passed up 5.71. Kendricks has cleared that. Barber for the lead again. First to go at 5.77. Oh, he's got it! Oh, he's got it! A fine clearance by Barber, and he judged that so well. Always that great classic event for Ireland. Joe Warren, Owen Everard, the pacemaker, James Ledingham. For Britain, Daniel Cheeseman, Lewis Moses, Robbie Fitzgibbon. Couple of Czechs here in Frisch and Sassenec. Ben Blankenship with a victory here last year. The stadium record, all-comers record of 3.56. So away we go in the feature men's mile. And the pacemaking duty being taken up by James Ledingham. An opportunity for the rest, though, to do a little bit of jostling. We also have Dawit Wolde of Ethiopia to watch out for, his taking a good position in third place straight away.
Yeah, Wolde has run 3:33 for 1,500 metres, which is the equivalent of about 3:51 for the mile. I would imagine he has designs on the record tonight. Your friend from Waterford, James Ledingham, has done what James Ledingham loves doing. That's pacemaking early on. So hopefully he'll bring around at a good pace so that this will set it up for Dawit Wolde and a crack at that record. I do hope the Irish get involved. I see Owen Everard there floating along in 5th place. He's been running well this winter. He's a very fine athlete. I watched him warm up there tonight. He looked lively. There was a spring in his step. So Owen just has to put the head down, concentrate, and hope that he gets dragged around to a good time.
Wolde, Duma, Sassenec, Everard behind our pacemaker. James Ledingham from the equestrian family, obviously, but Wolde is going a very good pace at the moment. They went through that in around 1 minute dead, and now an opportunity for Dawit Wolde to begin to put the foot down. There's a little bit of a gap beginning to emerge, and Philip Sassenec is trying to keep pace with the rest of them, and there's a big gap here. Ledingham's leading out, Wolde and Richard Duma of the Netherlands, and it's Sassenec then, but Everard is still holding his own in the black and amber of Kilkenny.
The fact that they're so stretched out will show you that the pace is really hotting up. Wolde is floating along in 2nd place. Duma is just hanging in there in 3rd place. He's a fine athlete, but he's going to find the pace hot now, because I would imagine with another lap's time, Dawit Wolde is going to put the gun down, and then the race will really be on. This man is chasing a track record here tonight.
And he has an opportunity. 3.56, it was set here, the all-comers record 12 months ago, famously by Ben Blankenship. Dawit Wolde, he's a former medalist of the World Youth Championships, the African Junior Athletics Championships, 24 years old. And in the mile outdoors, he's a 3.57 man. And just look at the gap he's opened up on Richard Duma of the Netherlands. A lot of the Dutch athletes do wear that singlet in competition outside of their country. He's in 2nd place. 3rd at the moment is Fitzgibbon of Great Britain. 4th now is Everard. Look at the gap. It's a huge gap, and the lead is held by Dawit Wolde. Now, obviously, Blankenship, very good race with Kieran Elinard for a lot of last year, and he stole through in 3.56. The two training partners lap for lap towards the end, and then Blankenship went away. But this is all about one man and only one man.
Dawit Wolde, he goes through the bell at 2.55. We have a course record on here tonight. Dawit Wolde is steaming down the back straight now. He's on his way to break 3.56 to get the track record. I think he's going to smash it. It's 2 races. It's Dawit Wolde against the clock, and it's the rest chasing 2nd. And Owen Everard is having a fine race. He's in 3rd place and poised for a crack at the silver. But Wolde is in the straight now and on his way to a record.
He's looking very good. He goes through at the bell at 3.25, and he's absolutely flying at the moment. This is a scintillating performance in the mile from Dawit Wolde. The stadium record is 3.56, held by Ben Blankenship. Are you watching, Ben? There's a half a lap to go.
There is no doubt about this. This is going to be a record, and it's going to be one of the great records. Dawit Wolde in full flight.
Listen to the crowd. He's going to decimate it. 3.54.02. He smashed it. Magnificent victory for Dawit Wolde. That was absolutely incredible.
That's why we Irish love the mile. That was a brilliant performance by a brilliant athlete. And the crowd here, they really appreciate it. They've seen something special. 3:54 for the mile. Fantastic.
That was brilliant. That was brilliant. 3:54.02. And that's 5.5 seconds outside the world record of Hicham El Guerrouj from 1997. 3:54.02, unofficial, don't forget. And he has broken the national Irish all-comers record by almost 3 seconds. It was the stadium record as well, the meeting record. Obviously, obliterated, smashed to bits.
This is good old-fashioned athletics where an athlete comes along, brings out a great performance, brings the crowd to its feet and sends people home remembering that they were there when it happened. They were there in Athlone on the 17th of February 2016 when Dawit Wolde ran 3:54 for the mile. There's kids here who will never forget that. When we were young, we used to hear about Ronnie Delaney and Eamon Coughlin and their great feats and how they brought the crowds to AIT in America. We never got the chance to see them in Ireland, but we've seen an Ethiopian come to Ireland and show us what the Irish used to do in America.
And according to the journalist and statistician Alphonse Yock, that is the second fastest time in the world this year. We've seen something very special. Let's get some reaction.
Second fastest time in the world indoors. How do you feel about that?
I feel great. It feels good. Yeah, I'm happy with the crowd. This is a good race. I didn't expect this. It was fantastic. Thank you.
Anyone watching that race in the last 4 laps would have thought you were the only person running.
Yeah, I had a couple of strong trainings. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
I guess that makes it even more impressive because you didn't have anyone else pushing you. You were basically pushing yourself for that last 800 metres.
Yeah, if anyone is together with me, if someone is pushing me, it could be like 2 seconds faster. Maybe, yeah, about 2 seconds to go faster. But yeah, I know that I am strong. I know that what I did on my training. That's why I push on myself. So.
Obviously, you've got the Olympics coming up this year, 1,500 metres. A lot of people from your country are very good runners. How important is it to keep that form up?
Yeah, Olympics, but I'm one of the best in my country. So it won't be that big deal, so no problem.
Give us a prediction then for the Olympics this year.
I can't, because I didn't decide yet what to run, 5,000 or 1,500. So I can't predict this time.
Into finals now, the women's 60 hurdles. And we saw some spectacular running in the very early exchanges here. A stadium record set by Christy Caslin of the United States. Sarah Lavin is right alongside her. Caslin alongside her in lane 5. And the Irish all-comers record, 7.90. Derval O'Rourke, Belfast 06. Here we go! Nelvis going very well, the defending champion from the United States. And here goes Caslin as well. Caslin might just have got that on the line, 7.95. So Derval's all-comers record survives. I think Caslin got that just from Nelvis, but if she did, we're talking 100th of a second here. Lavin caught in between, caught in the middle. That was a very good fast race, under 8 seconds. And I think Caslin just got that.
I think you're right, Will, but I don't know their lead. It was really close on the line. At this angle that we're at, it's hard to tell.
Christy Caslin wins, 100th of a second. Nelvis in second place with Hannah Platitsina in third place, 8.10. Boone's fourth, Lavin, McManus and O'Hora just behind.
I was a little nervous, but I finished the race really good, and I'm just so happy to be here in Ireland.
Obviously, Sharika was a few lanes across from you. That was your main competition. I think she had a bit of a stumble there as well, so it really helped work for you.
Yes. You know, she's a great competitor. We race all the time, so I was just happy to come out here and execute very well. I ran pretty good in Berlin, but I was happy to come here, be able to rest, and really execute that race.
So here goes Barber, second attempt, 5.89. He's already won this. Kendrick's bowing out 5.83 and he's missed it. Barber giving it a good go, but not quite succeeding. He's already got the Irish all-comers record, 5.77. Can he add 12 centimetres onto that? Final attempt, 5.89. Here's a free go. Third and last attempt for a new Irish all-comers record. He's up, it's down. Gave it a good go. Well, he still hasn't cleared 6 metres on European soil, and the next big date for him is in Clermont, the meeting organised by Renaud Lavillenie on Saturday.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with my attempts at it. You know, it was a great experience out here, and I'm glad to come all this way and be able to put on a show for everybody.
Now, the pole vault, last year we had the high jump here, we had Mutaz Barshim. Now, he talked about high jump being sexy. I suppose pole vaults all of a sudden become sexy as well, because there's a good 4 or 5 of you who can really win championships that you go into.
Absolutely. I think that anytime you have a great competition between athletes, it really boosts the sport. You know, when you have somebody that's just so dominant in the sport, it kind of gets old because you kind of can kind of put your money on who's going to win every time, right? So, yeah, the fact that we have so many great athletes in the sport right now really, I think, elevates us to a new level.
Lots of Irish representation in the final of the women's 60 metres. Amy Foster and Phil Healy with support play coming from Ciara Neville. But watch out for Barbara Pierre in 6th and Cleo Van Boren lying in 8th place. She's won 3 times in Cork. If she pulls it off indoors in her Irish indoor debut, it will be some feat from lane 8. Good start by Pierre in 6, and Foster and Healy are doing their best to keep up. And Neville is coming up, and Pavel's coming up. So it's Barbara Pierre who wins, and Pavel in 2nd place. And 7.14 is a new stadium record, an Irish all-comers record. And Barbara Pierre is only 0.08 of a second unofficial outside her lifetime best. How about that? She blew the rest away.
I'm still in shock here at that time. She nearly knocked herself out running into the wall at the end. She was still going so quick. In such good shape. Like I said earlier, she set a personal best of 7:06 for an indoors 10 years ago in 2006, and she's still at that standard. Incredible to be still running at that level. Amy Foster was not that close to her, but I'd say she could have been dragged through to quite a quick time. We'll have to see when the time comes up. But Barbara Pierre was just in a league of her own in that race. She was unbelievable, start to finish.
An exhibition of sprinting there, really, but a very significant run by Foster to get 3rd. Really good run just ahead of Phil Healy.
You know, to me, every race is just getting better. So I went 7:19 or 7:20 in the first round, so I betted in the second round. And my coach always say it's just about progress, so I'm okay with that. And I just came off a flight, so all the way from the U.S., so this is great.
Around the 30-metre mark, you really took off.
Yeah, you know, I kind of slipped a little bit because I came out really explosive and I didn't expect it. So, but I caught myself and just stayed relaxed.
Yeah, the explosion out the blocks there, I think you might have caught everyone else by surprise as well as yourself.
You know, for some reason, this indoor, my mind goes blank when the guns pop. So I just try to like focus on my race and just get it going.
This again looks like it will be very, very fast. Martina, European champion over 200 meters in 2012. Achilles Ayiti with all those championship medals to his name. Ramon Gittins, Barbados, major championship finalist year after year. D'Angelo Cherry, 6:49 indoors. One way or the other, looks like it's going to be a great race. Martina in 1, Mariano 2, Batson 3, Gittins 4, Achilles Ayiti 5, Cherry 6, Bokhari 7, Pierre 8. And away they go. Great start in 4 by Gittins, and here comes Batson alongside him in 3, and Bokhari as well. Flying forward, Cherry coming in, 6:59, all comers and stadium record if that's confirmed. And D'Angelo Cherry just ploughed through right at the end in the final third of that. Going through the pain barrier in which to do it. He's got the win, 6:59 unofficial, breaking Winston Barnes' record from 364 days ago.
A lot closer race than I had first predicted. Well, I really thought that D'Angelo Cherry would have all his own way, but he was pushed all the way from Harry Akins-Ariti, from Brian Mariano in lane 2. You know, he really didn't have it all his own way, but in the end, you know, the class in the field really did show.
He was in the end. Achilles Ayiti got off to a good start. Gittins alongside him in 4, even better. Cherry doing absolutely fantastically. Very good start. And away he went. Cherry on and on and on. terrific triumph, 6:59. And if that gets confirmed, a little bit of a twinge, but you know what, Dick? In the end, it's worth it if you can get a time like that.
I think it is. I think he's forgotten about the twinge already. He opened the gap there pretty quick, and it's difficult to open a gap over 60 metres, so good win.
Even better, 6:58, rounded down the new Irish all-comers record, stadium record, meeting record. DeAndre Batson, 6:62, and Ramon Gittins in third for Barbados. The Kinizo Yeti down in fourth place.
Yeah, we're only into year number 3 here. Now, if you cast your mind back there, 24 months ago, it was Ashton Eaton and his wife, Brianne Tyson-Eaton, who were the superstars last year. Unfortunately, Asafa Powell pulled out. And then we had the man, Mutaz Essa Barshim, who almost broke that indoor world record. He got himself an Asian record, didn't he? But he didn't get anything. Today, we had so many records, you could almost start yourself up a music shop. But for me, Tulsen, Tollett, Will Downing, Jessie Barr and Dick Hooper, until next year, we've had a great time. We hope you have as well.